portraying a character is different than watching a character.
Mm.
So as I go through it, like I really have to put a lot of thought into like, okay, what is my end game? Like, why am I saying this? Like, I'm not saying it to be a jerk. Like, there's, you're right. It is a complex character, very complex.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Andrew Jacob Brown, Confound Productions, and thank you for joining us on Actors on After. And I've got an awesome guest here, an awesome cast member I can't wait to work with, Michael Oilar, we'll say. And he's joining us this time around. And so, hey, man, thank you for joining us, by the way. Taking the time out in like 10 minutes to jump on.
Thank you for having me.
So I like to lead us in by just saying, you know, maybe you can share with us a little bit on how you got started off in acting. Were you a young age? Was it just a year ago? Just whatever you feel like sharing. We just to get a little more info about you.
Well, I started out on accident.
Okay, let's go.
Complete
I'd like
accident.
to hear this.
I went to a concert in Waukegan, Illinois, and they were filming Chicago Fire next door. Mm-hmm. And I said to my friend, I'm like, man, it would be so fun to like prance around on one of those shows, like in the background, just whatever. She goes, oh, I've got friends who do that. I'll give them your information. And I just kind of laughed. I'm like, that's not really how it works. But guess what? That is how it works. I got an email from Chicago Fire. And they were like, do you want to do background? I was like, yeah. So I did background. It was a 16-hour day. Loved every minute of it. Did a couple more Chicago Fires. Did some Chicago PDs. Then I did Empire. And the second time I did Empire, production was like, hey, how would you like to be Terrence Howard's security guard for the rest of the season on the show? And I was like, okay. So, there I am standing next to Taraji Henson and Terrence Howard every day. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. And from there, I just started out with student films, kind of worked my way up, and here I am now on a series.
So I will say this. The people, let me get rid of that being noise. The people watching right now are hating you right now.
Well,
they're all going, I want to be on Chicago PD and Chicago Fire and Empire.
It's a catch-22 because a lot of that was like, I've worked background on so many shows, and like working background is cool, like to an extent, to like be on the set and to like see like big name stars, like I've been around Eddie Redmayne and Sacha Baron Cohen, and the list goes on and on. Holt McCallany, so many things I've done background on, but it is a lot of work. Like it is not easy being background because you're treated like a prop. They could care less who you are. They could, I had a couple instances where I was treated a little better than a typical extra, like on the show Power Book for Force. I played Tommy Flanagan's bodyguard.
Okay.
And it was background, but it was a specialized background. So it was cool. I got to hang out with Tommy Flanagan. And then 61st Street was with Courtney Vance and Holt McCallany. And they treated me really well in there. So I did get a lot of kind of special treatment as opposed to, just being corralled into a holding area and whatnot. But it's funny too, because when you tell people who aren't in the acting world, like they're like, oh, what have you done? Like the things that I've done, like are all independent, so nobody knows them. Yep. But then the minute you say, oh yeah, well, I was background on Chicago Fire, they're, oh, what? I'm like, it's not even like what I'm most proud of. Like,
Michael, I'll say this. I did my Actors on After with Leonard and Leonard Freeney, and he said the same thing, the exact same thing. He's like, man, I tell people, hey, I've done this, I've done that, I've been doing this, working my butt off, and they're not listening. Really not listening until you say, I was also on Black Panther. And they're like, what? Black Panther? Yeah. Oh, you're the real deal, man. You're the real deal.
Right.
I'm going to look you up.
Yeah.
And, as artists, we're always like, dude, come on, man. Like, that's like one project, you know, you said one line or whatever. And, but I hear you. And all the stuff you've done as an independent world, that's a shame, but you know what? It is kind of what it is, I guess.
Paying your dues.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. You brought up the same thing that he did, exact same thing. But hey, you've been around some great talent that you can learn from. At least you could say that. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. You are an interesting one because you actually applied for Brant, a different character. I think it was Brant, right? Was it Brant? Okay, it was Brant.
So,
yeah, I think it was Brant. And you did your audition. I remember I was sitting there, and it was one of those moments where, like, you're about ready to take a drink, and then you spit it back out, you know, kind of deal. And you're like, wait a minute. He's bringing out the essence of another character that I'm dying to find. And that's when I reached out and I was like, dude, I got to ask you a crazy question, man. Can you do another audition for a different character? And instead of you saying, what, you don't like the one I just did? you took it with open arms and was like, no, yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's awesome that you saw something. And then I sent you the sides and you did the audition for Rich, and you nailed it. And I was like, yes, this is the guy. And I showed it to Cesar Caolo because I'm sure he's going to be in scenes with you. And he was like, that's my guy.
Nice.
So it was a blessing.
He's Lino, right?
Yeah, Lino Costa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he lives in Tampa, Florida, and he dodged a hurricane recently.
Nice.
He's okay, but yeah, man, I feel like I've been so blessed to get a lot of great talent, and I've been bringing this up a lot. I brought it up with Jason. We talked about it with Leonard, and but we got people from all over the place coming here that want to come and film in this, or to be a part of this series, and that's so humbling to me. And I think this is the benefit of being patient with casting, and I'm very patient with my casting. When I've done films, and now that I'm doing the series, it's definitely how I like to go, and it drives people bonkers because they're like, oh, you know, why do you got to take so long on an independent project? Because the actors drive this series. It's everything, the performances, and if you're working on a low budget, those performances can really help out. And so I'm blessed to have you, Michael.
I'm blessed to be here.
So excited to work with you, dude.
I mean, you and I have been Facebook friends for, I'd say, like 4 years, maybe.
Had to be, yeah.
I don't know, but we just kind of followed each other, but never really interacted.
Yeah.
So I've seen your work. I know what you've done. Like, I know you're busy. I know you put everything into what you're doing. Like, you don't make garbage. You know, there's a lot of people in the independent world who just want to crank out as much as they can, as fast as they can. And it ends up being the same thing. It's got no quality. It's got nothing that anybody really grows from. Or, you know, like, you see some of those things and you're like, oh, you're doing part 3 of that again? Like, what did you get out of part 1 and part 2? Like, why are you repeating? You're not.
Yeah. Sharknado 5? What? No.
Right? Like,
we always go back to this.
It's almost a lack of growth, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
That means a lot to me that you say that. And, you know, it is unfortunate when you're friends with somebody a long time on Facebook, you never got a chance to interact. And, but I'm glad our paths crossed, because I mean, this is magic. And I think that's all the Lord's timing. I have to say that, like, out loud, because it's amazing. Like, again, that's a good example. We could have spoke so many times seeing each other's posts, but just didn't work out. You know, maybe we even liked a few things on each other's social media.
I'm sure.
Moved on and
100%.
But gosh, man, I am excited, dude. And you're in Wisconsin, right? I always forget.
I am in Wisconsin, so I'm very excited that we're going to be filming when it's like wintry, right? So it's going to be warmer down there. So I'm going to get out a blizzard. I'm going to get out shoveling snow.
Yep. And at the moment, it's looking like the first leg, which a lot you'll be in. the first 4 episodes, I think might be Tennessee is the area I think we might be getting. So that's even closer to you a little bit.
Nice. Yeah.
And then the second half would be in Alabama. But yeah, man, I get it, getting out of the cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So the character Rich, he's an interesting one. He kind of remains a mystery. This character that is he goes to prison for sexual assault, but the mystery remains whether he did it or not. And him getting out, he's this guy that almost you just can't stand. He's sarcastic, and he'll kind of manipulate, say anything to get what he wants. And it seems like the only friend he has is Lino Casa. And so now that you've been reading a lot more of this character, I'd love to ask you, what are you excited about playing this character? Because you've done a lot of stuff, dude. So I'd love to hear what your take is on this character.
I don't know how much I can say. There's one scene in particular that I'm very excited about.
Can you share without spoilers?
It involves driving in a car.
Okay. Yep. The scene.
I like that Rich has got so many variations. Like he really has. I don't even know if you can say it's an arc because he's up and down, up and down, up and down. Like I just like his whole. He does the wrong things, but I feel like he's not intentionally doing the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's really trying to be a good guy. It's just coming off wrong.
That's exactly what we want.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep. You ever seen the TV show Lost?
I have not.
Okay, there's a character that most people know, Sawyer, and he's like that. He's a character that everybody ends up loving, but he's one of those pain in the necks that gets on everybody's nerves. But he wants to do the right thing, but he just feels like he it's like it hurts him to do something good,
Yeah.
And I love your assessment on that. Really, I know it's hard for you to say much because of his character being kind of a mystery to the story.
Yeah.
But he's definitely there. Of course, everybody's there for a purpose, but he's an interesting one. I knew this. I just knew I needed a special actor to play this part because he's complicated. And I know our job as writers is to make complicated characters. But with him, it's like you don't know if he's good or bad at one moment. He wants to do good, and then he's down, and then he's talking back, and he's burnt. He's making somebody else annoyed. He's just this annoying guy. But there's a heart in there somewhere, and you're searching for it throughout the series.
Absolutely. So, yeah. No, definitely. And obviously, portraying a character is different than watching a character. So as I go through it, like I really have to put a lot of thought into like, okay, what is my end game? Like, why am I saying this? Like, I'm not saying it to be a jerk. Like you're right. It is a complex character, very complex.
And I wish there was more. I wish there was more I could say because he's one of those guys, one of those characters I can't say a whole lot about because it just reveals too much on like whether he did it or he didn't do it and what his motive is and who his only friends are.
and you know what? It's funny. So when I was reading the script the first time, halfway through it, I texted you and I was like, "This scene is hilarious." And then the next page, I was like, "Oh, never mind. Nope, not funny.
Yeah,
not funny."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you replied to my text and you were like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, this scene, like, it's hilarious. And then I turned the page and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Nope,
That took
funny.
me a minute.
Not funny.
I had to put myself in your shoes there for a minute. Like I can imagine what he was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Had I not, I don't know, like seeing the whole thing is funny
Yeah.
would be a very, very, very dark moment.
I'd be like, man, this guy really is rich. No.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, I am just so excited, man.
It's
I am
gonna be
so
awesome.
excited that we're gonna work together, big time. And you were one of the first that I got on, I think, early on. You and Rick Bickle, I think, were one of the first two that I got.
I think so.
Out of all the big cats.
Well, and it was funny because when I sent my audition, I got the reply. Thank you for submitting. You'll hear back from us if you need. And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's out the door. Just forget about it. Whatever. It was literally 5 minutes later. You were like, hey, we just watched your audition. Can you audition for this character? And I was like, that doesn't happen very often. I'm like, yep, absolutely, whatever you want.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not like I'm a weirdo, dude. Like everybody, they all think that. Like if I tell you, hey, I'll get back to you, I usually get back to you. And you can't get back to everybody, but I mean, I definitely take my time, and I love to tell. I don't like to leave people hanging because I'm one of those guys. I'm an actor, right? Like I don't like being left in the balance. But I will tell you no. Like, look, you just don't look the part.
Sure.
And it's funny. I remember that first video I put out. I told everybody, please don't follow up. Just don't follow up. If you look the part, you'll get an audition. And so I'd get some emails coming in, and I'd be like, you really don't look the part. And then I'd get a follow up email. Hey, I was just making sure you got my email. Like, no, I got it. Do you want me to tell you don't look the part?
Yeah.
But yeah, I did reply.
Well, I mean that's a whole nother part of this acting world. Like, like when I got the response saying like, okay, we got your audition.
Yeah.
Like at that point, for any project, they got the audition, let it go. Yeah. Don't ever think about it again until they come back. Like just keep chugging along. I know too many people who will submit an audition and then they just hang on it, just waiting for that. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, just keep going.
It'll drive you crazy, and 90% of the time you're not going to get it. And, and I had to. That was my follow up. Excuse me, with every audition sent in to me, because I have to process it. Even if I'm like, yes, this is amazing, I still have to process it. It's just the way my mind works. I have to be like, does this look the character? And a lot of the characters, as you know, like there's a family and they're related, so I have Wendy Walter and Joyce, and it's like they gotta look alike, and so I had to process that too. But yeah, man. Well, it's been a joy just getting you, man, and you're part of the team now, and I'm excited.
I love it.
I'm super excited. So on the After series, so what are you excited about the most? Just a lot of times it's just getting on set, and I get that, but I'd love your take on this particular project, this particular series.
Well, it's Leonard. Leonard and I have worked together, but we worked together virtually, so we never actually met. So I'm really looking forward to like actually meeting Leonard. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. I've been friends with a lot of the cast members through social media and whatnot. So there's that contact, but to actually like meet them in person and like to bring our characters to life. And
is there anybody else besides Leonard that you worked with, or is it just Leonard?
Just Leonard.
Okay.
That I've worked with. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I think. Let me think here. Yeah, you're gonna have scenes with him. Yeah. That'll be great, man. Heck yeah.
I can't wait. He's a great guy.
He's gonna be fantastic. When I had him on, and what a gem, dude. Finding a good bad guy is not easy. Obviously not everybody has those chops. I don't know how else to say it. It's just hard to pull off those kind of emotions, and he just crushed his audition. Like he crushed it. Whoa, okay, you win. Good job.
And he's funny.
He's a great guy, man. Like I said, I feel like we won the lottery. I'm getting people from all over. I say, let's see, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, Wisconsin, North Carolina. I think those are the big ones. Louisiana, nice. Maybe. I mean, that's everybody just kind of funneling.
It's so cool.
I'm blessed.
It's so cool when that happens. Yeah,
man. But it's just taking my time, casting. But okay, so you're excited about that, seeing Leonard, and that's awesome, dude. I mean, I think it's going to be magic. You're going to be, let's see. Yeah, I think you're in both legs, so you got a lot of stuff. I think you got like 6 episodes out of the 8. You're in a lot of it.
Is it 6 or I think it might be 5?
Well, you're in. Oh, maybe you're right. You're not in 3. Yeah. You come in.
Because I come in at 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I remember I reconstructed my script.
I saw that
because there's so many flashbacks, and I was like, I can't memorize any of this with the flashbacks. So I went through, I brought it up, and I copied and pasted everything in order so that all the scenes are actually like, okay, here's all the forest scenes, here's all the car scenes.
Let me ask you that: Have you done? I mean, you said you. Other than like Empire in the Chicago's and stuff, have you been on like as a character for any other TV series at all, or?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. So this would be like one of the first actual characters.
Oh, I mean, if we're talking independent, no.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Okay. So I mean, just literally 3 weeks ago, I filmed a pilot in Idaho.
Okay.
So there was that. Yeah. There was a series called The Coleman Show. I played a character on. The Bounce Back. I had a character on. So there's stuff all over the place.
Yeah. So so the cool thing is because I'm throwing a lot of you guys for a loop. I know that like you just said on that script, right? Because you're like, man, this is too much here, and that's the thing like that I'm really trying hard to bring in is that old school. It's not really old school. You watch it on any Apple TV show, but like the way that the story's written, you'll see like introduction of this character, and then you get the flashback. Well, how did he get here? And then they intermingle, like, and then they come together. But I can see your point. Like you're in a flashback and you're coming back and you're here and you want to know. And it's kind of got that like a lot of those shows have.
Right. Because obviously when we film it, we're going to film the whole forest scene together.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. You're not going to be bouncing back and forth from, okay, we're doing flashback now, so I'm like, I need to have it memorized in order, like just be in this moment.
Yeah. No, I probably do the same.
So cast members, if any of you need it in order, I got it.
He's got the secret magic of putting it together. I'm trying to think of how many characters. I think just, I think you have those. It's you, Lino's.
You.
Do I have that?
You're Eli, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking about what you're talking. Oh,
yeah, the whole woods thing. Because we go woods, backflash of Lino and Rich.
Oh yeah.
To the woods.
But I'm still constant. Like I'm still in the present day during that time. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, your characters. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna film it like that.
Yeah. No.
No, but I mean, it's magic, man. This is what I'm excited about. Is because this is the kind of storytelling. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm just saying that I've been dying to tell a story like this kind of format. Shows that I used to watch growing up, like the Prison Breaks and The Lost. Like I always bring that up. The Walking Dead. They have that like character development story timeline, and people grow an attachment to them, and they want it to go on and on and on, and you don't know what characters are going to get killed off or not, and that is what makes it, I think, a show valuable.
Yeah,
it's just my take. Maybe I'm stuck in my old ways. I don't know, but I feel like we've gone away from that.
Yeah, I can think of a couple shows that like Yellow Jackets does that.
Okay. Yellow Jacket. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good.
Where's that at? Where can I watch it?
Paramount Plus.
I have that.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. I'm a nerd, dude. I love watching everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I currently right now, and I'm obsessed with the movie Apartment 7A.
You told me this before.
Did I?
Share a little bit about that. Yes.
It is the prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm. You remember you saying that?
Amazing.
You can text that to me, will you, later?
It's like, it's so well done that when I was watching it, like I clicked it on, was watching it, and I'm like, this feels really familiar. And at the time, I didn't know it was the prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, Diane Wiest's character comes in, and she was Minnie Castavetta. And I was like, wait a minute, that's from Rosemary's Baby. So of course, Google. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, oh, it's prequel. And like the way they did it with the set and like the costuming and the wardrobe and the music, like you almost don't even know it takes place in 1968. Like it's just so smooth. And then it's got the crossover where it crosses into Rosemary's Baby, and then they separate. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Rosemary's Baby definitely is in like my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
You got to send that to me.
Okay.
Both of that. Just send me those titles so that I can look them up. Because you told me that last time we were talking. And
You've never seen Rosemary's Baby?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Classic.
But that's why I'm asking, because I'm like, man, if it's something I haven't seen, I got to get on that. Yeah. Man, all right. So what else are you working on right now besides the after series? I know you've been doing a lot of different things and posting. And anything you can share?
I gotta think about this. Okay.
Maybe
so this Friday, the trailer premieres for The Wicked Ways of Webster County.
Okay.
It's filmed in Iowa, and it's based on a true story. It's always fun. Okay, that's this Friday. November 8th and 9th, the premiere of the movie One by One from Salty Earth Pictures is in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, and that is another faith movie.
I know that festival.
Story of David Rosanu, Hester Rosanu. What else do I have?
Look at you.
I know. I should look at my calendar.
This is a true actor right here. He's got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I can barely keep track. Last weekend I did a little thing. The week before that I did a SAG micro budget film. Before that there was something else in there. I don't know. Just keep going. Let
me ask you this, Michael. Is there a character? You seem like a character actor for sure. Like, is there a character that you haven't played yet that you would like to play? A type that you're like, man, I just wish somebody would give me a shot, but I never get a shot. I never get on. It could be anything. There's no bad answer.
I've been pretty lucky because I've never been typecast. So every role I have has been very, very different. However, I think it's fair to say I would love to be in a Western.
Okay.
I really want to be in a Western.
Like you didn't do a Western then?
No.
Oh. You're like the third cast member that said that. They all want to be in Westerns. I think that's coming back.
It's
coming back.
Yeah.
I think I like Westerns. I don't know where I'd fit in a Western though, because my look. Like, what can I play?
You look at you. You look right in. You got.
I don't look like no cowboy.
Throw a cowboy hat on there.
I don't know, man. I got to ask you this because I ask everybody this. What is your favorite movie that you could watch when it's on? Any movie at all?
It's a tie. It's 2 of them.
Okay. You can give me the tie.
6 Degrees of Separation. Rebel Without a Cause.
Rebel Without a Cause.
Why
does that ring a bell?
James Dean.
Okay.
Natalie Wood.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but okay, man, you like the old school. You're a classic guy.
I am. Well, it's funny. Like, even though like I had no intention of ever acting, when I was in college, I my major was radio, TV, and film communications, but my emphasis was radio. So like I would have to take film related classes to get the credits for that degree. So a lot of it was classes where we just sit and watch old movies and analyze them. So like,
yeah. So you never did take an acting class then, because you kind of fell into acting.
I did. I had to take
I
had to take one acting class.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of friends in the class, and we just thought it was funny and ridiculous and nonsense. They'd have us up on a stage, and they'd be like, "Okay, everyone act like you're cats," and we have to run around like cats, meowing, and like, "Okay, now what would a cat do?" And then I remember
that seems really out there.
Yeah, and then I remember there was one day where we had to be trees.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that was the only acting class I've ever taken, and obviously, like it's helped me.
Yeah. Maybe no. Yeah. See. Hey, you fell into it.
Yeah.
You have the personality.
All the bulk of my classes that I really cared about were all radio. So if you ever need a weather report, I can do the weather report. I can get that radio voice going, and
yeah.
Man.
So this is it for you then. You're full-time acting.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 That's awesome, man. That's awesome, because there's no way you'd quit. What else would you do, right? That's what everybody.
Right. Right. Well, and after doing this, I've been doing this like 4 or 5 years. Like I can't imagine like a real job ever again.
Yeah.
Like imagine being trapped in an office.
That's an artist thing.
Oh.
You're a true artist. That's what I'm saying. We are built a certain way. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand us artists. We're kind of crazy like that. They go, don't you need some security? Yeah, we do, but man, we just can't. We got to be out.
Yeah.
Doing stuff, and I get that. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, man. Well, you're doing it, and you're another person that started 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Leonard, I think he said he started right before COVID.
Yeah. Actually, I got my first, my first agent connected to the SAG shows a week before COVID.
Okay.
So then I never followed protocol, so to speak. So I was ineligible to audition for anything for 3 years because of the whole COVID mandates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's, which I looking at it now, at the time I was like, this like real is terrible. But then I was also like, you know what? No, it's not. This is a great time for someone like me who's never acted to just try doing as many independent things as I can. Because I know I'm not even eligible to audition for SAG shows. So like, let's get the experience, Yeah,
that's a good way of looking at it. It gave you the opportunity.
Yeah. I took advantage of it, and
Yeah, that was a time like no other. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a time like no other. Well, one last question for you. Here we go. If you were to work with any Hollywood actor on the After series and do a scene with them, who would it be?
Any Hollywood actor?
Has to be alive.
Amy Sedaris.
Oh, that was quick. That was a fast one.
Yeah, Amy Sedaris.
All right, I'm going to give her a call.
Love her.
Okay.
And then number 2 is Jennifer Coolidge.
Dang, he's got a number 2.
No.
All right, man.
You got to have goals here. You got to know who you want to work with.
Thank you, man. I like that. You were quick. That was really quick. Nope. Man, that's all I got. I wanted to pick your brain about your career a little bit, about the character and about the After series. And I just really appreciate you, man. I do so much, man, that you're going to be a part of this. It's awesome. And I hope that, not with just this project, but I hope we can work more in the future too. And we haven't even gone on set yet. I'm attached to people with your personality.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm totally honored that, like I thought auditioning for this was going to be the biggest long shot in the world. I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I did get over 600 submissions in the first.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
It's crazy.
It's and it's funny because there are different groups and chat groups, and like I can't tell you how many people I've seen recommending other people to audition for it completely off your page or website, or like people know about this series. People are watching. Yeah,
that's really cool, man, and I appreciate you saying that. I would not know that if it wasn't for you guys. I think, and again, I had Leonard on, and he said the same thing, that people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exciting because that's what we want. We're trying to build something, and we're trying to keep it going, and it's the long haul for me. Yeah. So thank you, man. Thank you for everything. Okay. So before we go, is there anything that maybe you'd like to share, or anything you'd like to say before we go? Anything?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Is there something I'm supposed to say?
No, Michael. Afterwards, you're gonna be texting me. Did I drop the ball on that? No. No, I'm just giving you the honor, man. If there's anything you want to say, but that's it, man. I appreciate you getting on, and this probably won't be the last because I'm sure we'll have lives, and I'd love to have you on for one of those.
Yeah, here.
A Facebook Live or YouTube Live, but having your guys' presence on here really helps grow the channel and grows what we're doing and build what we're doing. So, all right, man. Well, thank you, and thank you guys all for watching Afters on Actor. I said that backwards. Thank you guys for watching Actors on After, and until we see you in the next video, God bless you guys.